and let us all do we can to build a better future.
The Squad. Such high hopes we had for them. The Squad. Originally, we thought that was a great nickname, only for us to find out that that was nicknamed at Mama by Nancy Pelosi gave them. Okay? And as time progressed on, we noticed that there was a shift happening with the Squad. They were, well, falling in line with the Democratic establishment. They were not challenging the system. They were telling us to be more pragmatic. They were telling us that we have to wait, that we can't shake up the system, and give them time, and eventually they'll do something about the Democratic establishment. But then came 2020 and a global pandemic. And in 2021, there was a chance, an opportunity for 15 congressmen and women who were on a petition called Force the Vote to actually implement Medicare for All, or put Medicare for All on the House floor for a vote. The Squad and those other members who were part of that wonderful petition calling for Force the Vote against Nancy Pelosi abandoned the people. Now, Indie News Network's very own Colin Radix Carter was at the May 24th Squad Victory Fund event. We covered that yesterday, where he asked a question to Ayanna Presley and got nothing but a word salad answer. We covered it on yesterday's show, and myself and CJ on RBN talked about it on their afternoon show yesterday as well. But more videos started to come out, and I got a private message from Indie News Network, from Colin, from Indie Left, and Reef Breland. They sent me the same videos. And I have to say, the hypocrisy within the Squad is absolutely shocking. I sometimes can't wonder to think just how low will they go? Because here we're going to have Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez admit that Force the Vote could have worked secretly. Because apparently, and this is a quote, people with the most privilege and power thought that they were in the same boat as the people who were the most vulnerable. What are you talking about, AOC? When they were in that boat, they were willing to do anything. So are you telling me that those privileged senators and House representatives would have been on board for Force the Vote for their constituents? Because if you ever follow Unusual Whales on Twitter, and I urge all of you to do so, you're going to find out that your fantastic House representative and U.S. senator, be they Democrat or Republican, were making huge financial killings in 2020, 2021, 2022, and yes, even this year too. Go ahead. You'll vomit with rage. Hell, you might break your phone to find out just how much of a financial killing these politicians are truly making. But here, you don't have to believe my words. Listen to the words of AOC from the Squad Victory Fund, and you'll see firsthand just truly how hypocritical they really are. Shout out to Indie News Network. I don't know how you guys got in there. I don't know how you pulled it off, but you have my respect. Please follow them on social media.
And what we saw at that time was, out of the top 10 zip codes in the United States afflicted with COVID, 5 of them were in my congressional district. It was all hands on deck. And at that time, because it was so early, it was before the public health data had come in. It was before we knew almost anything. And there were organizers and people on the ground that were saying, this disease, this illness is not hitting all of us the same.
So, AOC, are you basically saying that you were listening to everyone on the ground? Because when people were asking you and your fantastic colleagues who were sitting up there with you, who were also on the Force the Vote petition, did you listen to them when we were asking for Medicare for All, for a House floor for Medicare for All? Now, before anyone types in the comment section below, it would never work, at least it would shine a light on who would vote against Medicare for All in a pandemic. AOC, you're going to spill the secret sauce in this video. Y'all going to hear her say and admit that, oh, there were rich people who were willing to do anything. Really? Really? Because the Squad didn't do jack.
It is hitting marginalized communities more. It is hitting Black communities more. It's hitting brown communities more. It's hitting the working class more. And we have folks on the ground that saw this and knew this and rang the alarm about it before any public health data came out. And they said, so presciently, they said, we need to act on this now, because once people find out that this is not hitting all of us the same, they're not going to want to act on it. There's going to be less urgency. We found out that some people are more protected than others. And so there was this moment, I remember, all of us were a part of it, where we were on these emergency calls, and it was almost it was such a dark time.
A dark time, a challenging time. Well, gee, there was plenty of time for Mama Bear Nancy Pelosi to be getting her hair and nails done while no one else could. A lot of these politicians were living it up, not doing anything, helping out working class families. Small businesses were being shut down. There was a thing happening in 2021 called Force to Vote that so many people participated in. And yet, when you guys were called to the task at hand, you did, oh, that's right, nothing. Oh, wait, there was another event, March for Medicare for All, where you guys, showed up and did nothing. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. They didn't show up. Oh, my goodness, they didn't even show up for the March for Medicare for All. What about, the fight for 15? Oh, Cinema did her little curtsy, thumbs down, and that's it. Did nothing. Oh, what about that 3-day General Strike Summit meeting? You guys showed up to that? No, wait, they didn't show up. They didn't show up to any of those things. And all that took place in one fantastic year, 2021. If that didn't rip the mask off of these hypocrites, I don't know what will.
But it was also a suspended reality, because there was a moment where everybody, all Democrats of all ideologies and Republicans, were almost willing to entertain anything.
So, force to vote, right? That when you say willing to entertain anything, but not that. They'll do anything for love. I'll do anything for love, but not that. Shout out to the initiated who know that song. So they're almost willing to entertain anything, but not forced to vote. Almost willing to do and entertain anything.
From universal basic income to mortgage freezes to freezing our credit scores, they put all of it on the table.
And did any of that happen? Oh, right. No, that didn't.
Because they thought they were at risk too. All of a sudden, people with the most privilege and power thought they were in the same boat as the people who were most vulnerable.
What?
And when they were in that boat, they were willing to do anything.
What? Hold on. Let's have democracy in the chat here. Hold on. Let's have democracy in the chat, because AOC is telling some secret sauce here. So apparently, the most rich and powerful, the most privileged of privilege, were willing to do anything. Do you remember Congress helping you out during the pandemic? I'm just going to pick the years of 2020 and 2021. Do you remember Congress doing any earth-shattering legislation that would be permanent to help out homeowners, small business owners, average Americans, college students struggling with debt? Was there a full-on debt jubilee? Type 1 for, yeah, Kit, they did their job and they made our lives great. Without our leaders, we would be nothing. Stop complaining. I'm looking through history blindfolded and not paying attention. Type 2 for, like, Jesus Christ, what is AOC talking about? Helping us? We're still abandoned. We're still abandoned. Oh, my goodness. So listen, hold on. I'm going to rewind that again. Entertain anything. Hold on. It was almost a suspended reality. Let's watch that again.
Suspended reality, because there was a moment where everybody, all Democrats of all ideologies and Republicans, were almost willing to entertain anything, from universal basic income to mortgage free.
Universal basic income. Now, this is not a defense of Trump, but, all right, we did have that $1,300 that was given to us in I think in the first month, in March. And there were 10 months later until the election was decided. Donald Trump, again, I would have liked to seen the follow through, did offer the fact that he was willing to do that for the next few months leading up to the election. Now, did Donald Trump just change his mind? Well, we may never know that because before that was ever implemented, Mama Bear Nancy Pelosi put her foot on it, her old wrinkly foot on it, and said no, because she felt that it was going to help Donald Trump win more votes. So instead of being generous, that rich, privileged Democrat, Mama Bear Nancy, that's what you call her, AOC, stopped any other attempt of a stimulus check. Now, $1,300 isn't a whole lot of money. It's not. But I'm pretty sure a lot of us would have liked that little extra cash in our hip back pocket. But the Democrats said no to that. Hell, it's Donald Trump that shamed the other Democrats when we got that $600 by saying that's not enough. Remember that? Then we got that additional $1,400. Democrats, you still owe us $2,000. I am not counting that $1,400 and that $600 as the same thing. No, I'll take that money, but you promised me a solid $2,000 plus interest, and I want that money. We all want that money. You promised that to us. We never got it. You never got it.
To freezing our credit scores, they put all of it on the table because they thought they were at risk too. All of a sudden, people with most privilege and power thought they were in the same boat as the people who were most vulnerable. And when they were in that boat, they were willing to do anything.
Wow. They were, AOC? You know, you talk about privilege and power a lot, you know? But I have to say, like, the Squad Victory Fund, look, I mean, at least I could say with pride that no one was brain dead enough to buy a $500 ticket or $250 ticket or a $75 ticket. I mean, come on. Who's got that money to pay for that? But that's AOC. Now, I want to pull up this other video here. Shout out to Indie News Network. Jamal Bowman reveals how people in Congress have no urgency and comments that the Squad shouldn't negotiate with them on any issue. Then why don't you? Then why don't you? The answer, vote more progressives in office and drag this idiot old man across the finish line. So, wait, you guys know that's pointless? You're part of a system and you're not doing anything to inspire others? Are you guys telling us that you're effectively useless? Because when the Republicans did their own force to vote, they were successful. Hell, I was loving every single minute that Speaker McCarthy was struggling just to get a speakership. That was great. You want to know why I like that? On a side note, it did show that force to vote will work, but it also showed just how uncomfortable these politicians are when they have to show up at work and be there for long hours. I wish it continued on more because I wanted to see them suffer. I didn't say I was a good guy, but here, you're going to listen to Jamal Bowman, Representative Jamal Bowman of the Squad, tell you to vote more progressives. Now, Colin Radix Carter responds, why Biden? Why? Why Biden? Well, according to AOC, remember, everyone, he exceeds expectations.
The majority of Congress does not have a sense of urgency as it relates to doing something about this issue. Everybody's just going about their business, going about their day. In their nice suits, going to fundraisers, raising money, getting reelected, and they're not doing shit.
Yeah. Neither are you guys.
Like, why are we negotiating with them on anything if they don't want to do anything about it?
Now, see, now again, here's what you see. It's a little contradiction here because AOC was saying during the pandemic that there were some rich and powerful people willing to do anything. Well, wait a minute. Now, Jamal's saying, hold on. We can't negotiate anything with them. So, AOC, hold on. Are you giving away the secret sauce saying that force to vote would have worked, or who's telling the truth here now? That's what I love about these politicians. When they lie, they think we're not paying attention. Or when they're making stuff up or speaking out, they're acting like we're not listening to them. So insulting.
Why are we negotiating on any issue. Any issue. If we have people in Congress that are okay with our children being killed and gun violence being the #1 killer of children in America, we have lost our soul as a nation.
Oh, but I thought the soul came back when Biden got into office. Return the soul back to America. Remember that, folks? Remember that lovely thing?
And so when I processed all of this consciously and subconsciously before I came out and started.
Hold on. I want to give a shout out to Black Zen, who writes, too many of us aren't paying attention, though, Kit. Listen to the audience. Just remember, those people did pay money to show up, to be in that area. But also on the side note, too, well, at least they're not in a huge arena. They're not in a huge arena or a stadium or auditorium. Looks like a small place. Again, Colin is going to be on my show on Monday morning. So he's going to give us more further detailed information in regards to the overall setup and the event and everything else that happened after the cameras were turned off. So looking forward to speaking to Colin on Monday. So tune in 9 a.m. Central.
Started yelling at reporters to ask Republicans what the hell are they going to do about gun violence, which is what led to Massey addressing me and then us having that back and forth. But for me, you know, as I hear everyone speak on the issues that we're fighting for, I'm really grateful and appreciative to them and all of us and all of you. But I'm also like, damn, yo, like we got to take over this whole shit. Like,
why? It's like, again, I'll have the bear eat me and I'll change the bear on the inside. No, the bear's going to eat you and then crap you out. I look at the squad and I see them as the, well, vultures waiting in wings to replace the old guard of Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, Chucky Boy Schumer, Joe Biden. And they're not going to have any real innovation, no real ideas, nothing new to change the system.
Right. And I mean right now, like right now, like right now, like 2024 is a wrap.
Yeah. We got Jesus, who writes, George Santos is probably the most honest politician, especially compared to the circus turds here. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, listen, George Santos, he is a professional liar through and through. I mean, we know he's a liar. At least we know. At least we know he's a terrible liar. But see, I view George Santos as the avatar of Congress. He is a true representation of all the members, past and present, Democrat and Republican. He's what they truly are. He just hasn't perfected the mask of neoliberalism and lying to his constituents. Just so you all know, I don't care if you're a diehard Republican voter or diehard Democratic voter. Your elected representative in the U.S. House or in the U.S. Senate, they're just like George Santos. I know, controversial statement, but he is their true representation because all politicians lie. George Carlin was spot on. It's one big club, and you will never be in it. They just want you to be an obedient sheep and just keep on clapping like a seal and baaing like a sheep.
It's not just taking back the House. We got to grow seats in the Senate. We've got to drag this idiot old man across the finish line.
Whoa, idiot old man. Hey, that's Biden. Vote blue no matter who will cancel you. Here, let's listen again.
Not just taking back the House. We got to grow seats in the Senate. We've got to drag this idiot old man across the finish line of the win.
Why? Why?
I'm sorry, man, but I'm upset, yo. Because there's another thing, right? It's like,
why Biden?
I know, right?
Why?
I know. Maybe it should be one of us.
Oh, boy, here we go again. One of us. Gooble gobble, one of us. Oh, God. It's so pathetic now seeing a majority of Democrats now endorsing Biden, including the biggest cuck of them all, and the reason why the squad even exists, Bernie Sanders himself. Yeah, look, everyone's so happy about it. Everyone's so happy about it. Whoop the freaking do. This is the neoliberal establishment, the squad, who did nothing about forced to vote, who had, really, if they got together, if all those 15 congressmen and women actually formed a voting bloc, they could have really used their political power to gain leverage over Mama Bear Nancy Pelosi. But that didn't happen. They didn't do that. They said this is violence. And of course, you had Fat Tony, Cenk Uygur, and Sammy Boy Cedar tell everyone, oh no, we got to keep our powder dry. Hold their feet to the fire, and then we'll be ready for a fight for Medicare for all, which is never going to happen. Huh. How interesting. How incredible. I wish I could say things are going to get better, but so long as there are sycophants who will carry water for the vote blue no matter who crowd and the just us Democrats, we're going to get more performative art from AOC, Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush, Ayanna Presley, Rashida Tlaib, all of them. The whole squad. The whole squad. It's disgusting. You should be furious. You should be upset. Now, at the end of the day, this election cycle is going to be a very interesting one to cover. Now, the Democrats are making sure that there will be no debates. But yet here we have squad members saying that we got to vote more progressives in the Democratic Party. But we know firsthand that the Democratic Party decides who they want behind closed doors. They admit that for the office of presidency. You don't think they don't do that for the U.S. House of Representatives or the U.S. Senate behind closed doors? Both parties are guilty of it. They know who they want. The donors know who they want. We don't have a say in our republic. We don't have a say in what our elected leaders are working on. And when push comes to shove, our leaders, fail at every point in time to help us out. So as a final note for this, don't put too much faith into these politicians. They're people, flawed people, and they don't have our best interests at heart. And I would like to say again to this Squad Victory Fund, why don't you guys decide to host the event yourselves instead of asking your constituents for money? Maybe you shouldn't have asked your constituents for money and actually have an open floor, maybe town hall, maybe actually face the gauntlet. As AOC once said, you got to hold these politicians accountable. You have to hold them all accountable, because if you don't, then they're just going to keep on ignoring you. But maybe that's too much for them. So shout out to Indie News Network for covering that event. They have said to me that more videos are going to come out, so stay tuned. And I will be interviewing Colin this coming Monday at 9 a.m. So be sure to check it out, because I'm sure there's a lot more to the story. And again, don't invest into these politicians. They don't like you, they don't think about you, and they don't respect you.